Wait. There it is. What's going on, everybody? Hello, welcome, and thank you for joining us for anything and everything rock and roll. Of course, with a little bit of ADD. I'm Zach.
I'm TJ.
And yes, those are fully automatic Nerf guns in the corner.
Robin, you're muted, dude.
Oh,
Yep.
shit.
Way to go, dude.
Damn it. Yes, and I'm Robin.
And you're listening to Rock Detention.
I don't feel tardy.
Okay, that was just weird. Robin,
that was
what
weird.
is going on?
Robin made it weird. I made it weird.
I don't know. It's all weird, man. It's all weird. I'm doing good, Zach.
Gentlemen.
How are you?
Oh, ha! So good.
So good.
So
TJ,
good.
where are you? Well, it
don't
sounds
know.
like you're doing very well, but where are you?
I got some tropical vibes going on, I think. I'm in Tampa.
What are you doing in Tampa?
Watching the White Lightning win a Stanley Cup. I was supposed to be yesterday, but he's supposed to be tomorrow now.
Oh, there you go.
Dude, I want to be cool like you when I grow up, TJ.
Yeah, travel as much as
Well,
you do.
I've
Big
never
grown up.
met someone travel as much as you do.
That's because you never met me.
Oh. Dude, I talked to Keith Warchalak for a while today. He said he hung out with you last week.
I don't know the guy.
Keith Robert.
Oh, that's the one.
Oh, that guy. How's he doing?
And he's amazing. Happy anniversary to him and Shanti. Today is their wedding anniversary. Much love to all of y'all. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands, but they're here.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
If you think about it, that's kind of how the podcast started, Zach.
What, our hands?
Zach not knowing what to do
No.
with his hands?
Correct. But
Okay.
no, Zach and I hung out that day, and he drove me to, what was it, the Firefly?
No, I
Wait.
drove you from Firefly to wherever we went.
Wait a minute.
No.
You
we
were
went from the wedding to the Firefly.
you were
You're
in
right.
Austin?
I drove you to the Firefly
Yeah, don't lie to me.
in Las Vegas.
Oh, no, okay, never mind. Different Firefly.
And we took
Yeah.
like a little photo booth picture, and it took 3 days to get.
No, it took like 3 months because I remember one day I got a random text because I hadn't saved you in my phone yet, and I got a random text from this long number. Well, I guess it's not a long number. It's just a normal number because we all have 10-digit numbers. Anyway, and then I looked at it, and it was our photo from that photo booth. I will never forget that. That's funny. All right, thanks. Sorry, I'm
Here we
just
are.
going down
Anyways.
memory lane. Huh. Yeah.
Anyways, I have a
Good-
big
good
echo, so I
story,
apologize,
Zach.
guys.
I've got great stories.
You do.
Actually.
You have great stories. You do.
Dude, so this weekend I played the national anthem. I think I talked about it on the last podcast.
Yeah, you said you were going to do it. Now this is post show. So
post
how
show,
was it?
man. It was amazing. It was an honor. I found out that I am the first person in history to play the national anthem on the guitar for any Moto America event. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'm honored to have done that. Dude, it was stressful, man. Like when there's TV involved, everything is by the second.
Yes.
And there's like a producer there, and they're like, "You're gonna look at me, and I'm gonna count you down." I'm like, "Okay, I don't know where to look." Okay, the camera's over there in the distance. So
you want me to
and
look
there
at
was, like,
you, but then you want me to look over here, dude.
Yeah,
When we did America's Got Talent, it was the same way. It was
yeah,
just
it's
like
nuts.
it's weird, man. And America's Got Talent for us, I believe we were taped, so we could have like messed up and started over again. It wasn't
Oh, wow.
live, and
Oh
we
yeah,
were
I didn't
still
have that
just
option.
like we were still just like it was this like crazy, insane, like by the book thing, and like
Well-
every second count. It was weird, dude.
I have to give a shout out to Cody Parks and the whole Cody Parks crew and the Ridge crew. What's so funny?
I'm seeing David laugh at what I was saying, and so I was laughing in response to his.
Oh, okay, right
Oh,
on.
So people know we have a guest now.
Well,
great.
Yes, they would. They
Way to
should
go,
know
Robin.
because we post on Instagram, people.
Well, let me just finish my shout out real quick. The reason I want to shout all them out is there was a heat wave in Washington this weekend, and I'm not talking a couple of degrees over whatever the record was.
No, it was
We're talking like
nuts.
10 degrees over what the hottest ever it was. And I found out later that on the track, like where I was standing, it was 122 degrees. And like I watched video footage of me, like a couple of minutes before I started. Dude, I was paler than a ghost, dude. I was probably seconds away from passing out.
You look like
And
a rocker.
what's that?
You looked like a rocker.
Oh, super pale and wearing all black
Yeah.
in 122 degrees. Yeah, dude, I was wearing the skinniest black jeans I could find. It was not fun. But also shout out to the Umbrella Girls. There was these really cool girls with umbrellas on the tarmac or whatever, the racetrack, and they were very sweet. She held an umbrella over me to keep me cool. I thought that was very nice of her. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. Amazing weekend. Definitely get out to Washington. Awesome state. It's absolutely beautiful.
Gorgeous up there.
And yeah, I guess next up is NAMM. NAMM. I don't know why I said it twice.
Are we gonna all tackle NAMM? Are we gonna try to all do that?
Well, I'm going to NAMM next week. It's here in Nashville.
The Nashville NAMM. Yeah. Okay.
Summer NAMM.
I don't.
But yes,
I don't mess with the smaller NAMM. I'm kidding.
Okay, Mister. I do.
Okay.
I mess with all the NAMMs. But we definitely need to go to Winter NAMM.
Yes.
Because we've got to get Mr. Daniel Knight out there, because I don't think he's ever been.
What?
What
No, I think he's never
been.
I think he's been.
I think we talked about it. We talked about it. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Anyway, it's gonna be great. I'll shut up.
Anyways, Daniel, hey, shut up.
Shout out to Daniel Knight.
Hey, Robin, let's get this rolling.
Let's get this rolling. Okay.
You got some buddies here.
I got two buddies here, and they're. How do I describe the entities that are David Messier and Andre Cantave? So I'm very, very fortunate to know these two gentlemen. They own a production company, a recording studio primarily here in Austin called Same Sky Studios. And they are two absolutely brilliant musical people. They do a whole bunch of different things. David Messier, in his own right, is an artist himself. He has a solo career that he has released, I believe, four albums. He'll correct me on that. He's also a producer ace and owns the studio here. Andre Cantave is his right-hand man and is in his own right a studio ace. And
Today, Junior.
And they were so gracious to come on.
Deep, bruh.
Yeah, I am, because these guys are very, very dear friends of mine, and they're also producing my new EP that I'll be releasing in the fall. So I'm very excited to have these two gentlemen on. This is David Messier and Andre Cantave.
Yay!
Don't forget to unmute yourself.
Oh, well. How about that? A round of applause.
What an
on,
intro.
guys?
Y'all must be pretty good.
Well, I used to be Robin's roommate, so he has to. Because I cleaned up after him.
Really? Is he a horrible roommate?
No, he stays in his room and plays video games all the time.
And I just want to point out, he has a girlfriend. It's the craziest
I know.
thing.
What a country!
Only in America.
How are y'all tonight? I mean, I literally just saw y'all an hour and a half ago.
Hey, play it off, bro. Play it off.
Yeah, we were in the studio all day, recording new stuff. I can't wait for y'all to hear it. They are pulling out the best in me as an artist. So I'm very excited to release this EP. So.
Oh, we're excited too, man.
Apparently, you're an organ player now.
And synthesizer.
Synthesizer I can hack at. Organ, that's a whole beat. David, they could tell y'all. It's a beast. It's a beast trying to play the organ right.
There's a difference when you get in front of a B3 or a C3. It's as opposed to one of these things where you're just controlling the parameter. It's you really feel like you're driving a big rig or something. If you don't have experience with it, it can be intimidating. Robin battled with this C3 today.
Oh man.
Well, he battled well. He fought hard.
I lost, but I fought hard.
And then we moved on to something else.
I mean, dude, I'll tell you what, man. There's Zach Martin right there in Austin. Great keyboard player. He plays B3, but I'm sure there's is there a lot of B3 players in Austin? I don't know.
There's a couple of them that are really fucking good. Who's the guy that's always out at Firefly? Chris Bell's favorite, Zach. I'm talking
I don't
Zach
know.
here.
I mean, there's. Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, it's Mike something. He plays
Mike
with
Flanagan, probably.
Yes, Flanagan.
Mike Flanagan?
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, he's.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
So
he's,
Austin, one really. Go ahead, Andre.
No.
I was just
You
gonna say
first,
one of the
insist.
gems we have. Yeah, I mean, I was hoping that you guys wouldn't make the tragic error of asking Andre the first question. I mean, I go first, right? I mean, come on.
Absolutely.
Whatever you need to do.
Austin has this great club that survived the pandemic called the Gallery. It's upstairs from a tattoo shop next door to the Continental Club, and it has a B3. So Red Young will play there. Mike Flanagan plays there. The Greyhounds, Anthony. Why is his last name jumped out of my head? But as a result, we've got some great players, and not every city, not even every music city has like a club with a B3 in it. With the 147 or 144 cab. Yeah, see. So it's a real treasure. It's a real treasure to have that real big clunky piece of machinery that moves air and crackles and is imperfect, and it's a difference you can really appreciate when you're in the room with it, whether you're sitting at the controls or in the audience.
I can think of 3 clubs in Austin that have B3s at the club,
like a Leslie, an actual keyboard.
Yeah, like a Leslie and actually.
Does Antone's have one?
Antone's has one. You know what? Antone's Antone's does have one. So that's 4. I wasn't thinking of Antone's. So Antone's has one. Continental Club has one. The Gallery above the Continental Club has one, and then Seaboys.
Huh.
And,
okay.
And Seaboys Continental, and the Gallery are all the same entity. So
yeah, they're all the same owner.
They're all the same owner. And Steve Wertheimer he knows, he gets it. He understands. It's like, yeah, an organ player. That's the one person who's like, yeah, you don't want to lug that to every freaking gig. Let's just get a really good Hammond and just put it in here.
Sure. Does Jimmy Vaughn still frequent
Seaboys?
Seaboys?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Mike Flanagan plays for Jimmy Vaughn. He's
okay, right. I knew that sounded familiar.
Player.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't think he's played there in a little bit, obviously COVID reasons and whatnot, but yeah.
And then I mean, I've been out of the Austin loop for so long, so forgive me for asking. Is Reese Winans still an Austin name?
Who?
The cat who played with Stevie Ray?
Oh. No. Oh no. No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
Did I just go over everyone's head?
You actually,
now I'm wondering if I said his name wrong. Damn.
The drummer?
No, that's Chris Slayton.
No, the B3.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say I haven't heard him in some time.
Huh. Okay.
But there's a lot of that in Austin, thank goodness, and it's a cool thing to get to hear and play, and we're fortunate to have one here at the studio, although it's a C3. But I mean, the guts are exactly the same. C3, it was made for churches, so the B3 they made with the poles for legs that you could take off, make it a little bit easier to move around. But you can get the C3s a little cheaper if you don't need to move them, which we really don't.
They're more permanent.
It's the heaviest thing ever.
Solid chunk of wood. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You're not taking that in and out of your pickup truck.
I'm just surprised. Do y'all have at the studio? I've never seen it, but do y'all have the pedals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, we have the pedals, but we don't take them out unless there's a real B3 player there, and that doesn't include any of us. I mean, I play the organ a lot on records and things here, but I can't play the pedal. I mean,
there's very few.
I would never call myself a B3 player.
There's the reason I wasn't doing well. I didn't have the pedals.
I was about to say,
you can add something else to it.
They don't pull the pedals out for you.
I was intimidated. So like when I sat down to the organ, I made a comedic, sarcastic Instagram post today about it. But when I sat down, just the little button that my foot had to push, just the button to get the Leslie to start spinning, that was intimidating to me. Like I didn't mess with any of the drawbars or anything. Just that little button, I was like trying to like click it at the right time, and I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, because we got ours modded with a foot switch instead of having to control the instead of like the little lever on the side to control the speed of the Leslie. We had it modded so it's a foot switch, so you got your hands kind of freed up.
Right on.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for B3 organ.
Man.
It just
it should be on everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that and the whirly, that Wurlitzer, it should be kind of on every recording ever.
Zach
Right,
and I
right.
have talked about it before, and like when he does a trio for his stuff, he doesn't want a bass player. He wants an organ player, a drummer, and then him playing guitar and singing. And I'm just like, dude, you need a bass player. And I gave him shit like that for years until I saw Dave Scher do a show, and it was him and an organ player and a drummer, and I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you don't need a bass.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah, you don't need a bass player. Go away, bass players.
All bass is a frequency, man. If I called you Nan, I don't know why, but
Oh.
man.
It was a Nam.
Zach, Reese, Winans, is that
Winans.
moved to Nashville in '92. Yeah,
I'll be dang.
yeah,
Well,
so that's-
I should look him up.
That's what Mom just said to me. So
Thanks, Ma.
Yeah. So you should look him up since you're in Nashville.
Absolutely. But no, dude, I mean, the theory, yes, you can never replace a bass player. This is not me going, don't come at me, bro,
I'll come at
what
you.
I'm about to say. But sonically speaking, like, as long as you are taking care of those frequencies, why couldn't a B3 player or a synth player take care of the low ends in a band?
Zach, they can, and a lot of it is how they play, and that's why I say there's a real difference between a real player and somebody. Sure, I can go in and be musical, and I can two-finger a keyboard part while eating a sandwich. But you're talking about playing the bass, and I remember the first Anthony Farrell of the Greyhounds. I remember the first time I went to the gallery club here in Austin, and it was crowded, and I just made my way to the bar, and I was listening to this band, and I hadn't looked at the stage yet, and I thought for sure there was a bass player. Because I went looking at the stage and going, where's the bass player? And it's like, oh my God, he's got the pedals on. Like, this guy can really play.
Absolutely.
Eyes closed. I'd like to think my ears are okay. Eyes closed. I thought there was a bass player up there.
Amen. So there is a caveat, Robin. Yes, it can be taken care of with keys or synth or organ, but they just have to know what they're doing.
Oh, of course.
So
look at a bunch of the stuff that's come out of the 80s. That came out of the 80s. Like, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't actually have a bass player on it. It's a synth bass. Yeah, it just depends. I just give you shit because,
because you love giving me shit.
Yeah, I love giving you shit.
This has been a thing in blues music too. I mean, Fat Possum Records, putting out all those electric blues albums. That kind of second coming of Mississippi blues with, two guitarists and a drummer. Or just a guitar and a drummer. Never a bass player on any of those records.
Yeah, I don't.
Earl Burnside, stuff like that.
I'm just a sucker.
Yeah, T-Model Ford.
I'm just a sucker for a good bass player. I mean, when you have low end, when you have that low end just taken care of, and organ players like the Greyhound, like the guy in the Greyhounds, Red Young, Dane Farnsworth is another one.
Yeah.
When you have those guys that can really hold the organ down. It's you don't really miss it. As you said, Zach, it's a frequency. Another really great organ player who's really frustrating at this is Dave Scher. Like,
of course he is. It's annoying.
It's just like,
dude, he's great at everything he touches. He's probably good at the mouth harp or whatever that whatever that thing is.
Jaw harp?
He's probably good at it. Jaw harp. There you go. Mouth harp.
Probably.
Jaw harp.
We were. I think I've said this on here before too. It's like we wrote a song together, and I was sitting there like, man, I'm really hearing like just a beautiful violin playing. And he goes, oh yeah, I'll get that done. And I was like, oh man, do you know someone who'll come in and do it? He goes, no, I'll do it. Like, what?
Yeah, it sounds like him. Dude, you kind of look like him. Like at fast glance, especially the way you're dressed right now, you kind of look like Dave Scher.
I will take that. I'll take that. Because hopefully it looks like I've got the talent.
Oh no, just the look. That's all I was going
thanks.
for.
Thanks, Zach.
Yeah, man. Okay, can I change the subject right quick?
Sorry, guys. I was just thinking of the organ player from The Simpsons at the church. She's pretty good too.
Oh,
when she plays Inagata-Davida.
Yeah.
There's
Inagata-Davida, that was awesome.
That's one of the best episodes.
In the Garden of Eden, baby.
Okay, so I have a confession. And
on air.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, here we go.
So So I'd say Robin and I are pretty opposite as far as music taste goes.
No.
I like a lot of the stuff that you like. You don't like a lot of the stuff that I like.
Okay,
We'll put
sure.
it that way, because I have my palette of music is so fucking wide. You can ask them; they're dealing with it right now. Like,
so
I apologize, guys.
So I don't want to put a percentage on this, but I mean I'm not crazy about a lot of the stuff that he sends me. So he sent me this thing this morning in a group thread called Mr. Lennon. All right. Yeah. I have listened to the entire album twice through today. Twice.
Right awesome, man. Thank you.
Okay. And I'm just saying that because I don't like a lot of new music.
It's so good.
It is awesome. So what is the story? Man. Who are these? Is it y'all? Who are these people?
Mr. Lennon is a dog. That's where we have to. That's where the whole story starts.
So the dog plays keys better than you do?
Just
or organ better than you do?
That's all you need to know. Mr. Lennon.
Dude, it is 1970s like Bee Gees meets
it's yacht rock.
Yes.
No. Yes,
I loved it.
Okay.
I listened to it
so
twice.
I'm not going to say any more other than Mr. Lennon is a dog. I'm going to let these two guys explain where the hell this whole thing came from, because it's perfect timing that they get to come on right now, because they just released this album, Mr. Lennon, and it is a masterpiece.
Was it like July 2nd you guys released it? Sorry.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah. So
no, it just came out. It's actually been something Andre, myself, and another writer and player here in Austin named Dave Madden, who we work with a lot. We've been working on this for 5 years. It was just kind of born out of we all liked working together, and actually it was kind of born out of the frustrations you're feeling about modern music, right? I mean, when we first started getting together, it was like if the studio wasn't booked and Madden was available, we were like, let's just write a pop song. You know, we keep complaining about pop music so much. Let's just make beats, and we were just messing around. And
the original, I remember finding the original session for this was called Good Enough, because it was just like, all right, let's just come up with like a bunch of ideas and just finish them. And like the goal was to like, let's just write and record 2 songs every time we get together. So like whenever like something wasn't booked at the studio and Dave Madden wasn't busy, like, all right, get over here, man, let's just record today, and we'll just do that. And that's how the whole thing. So it was just like, all right, let's get the idea of like trying to get 2 full ideas, write and record as much of them as we can, and every time we got together.
I remember
so it was called Good Enough, wasn't it? I think it was called.
It was called. At one point, we changed it to Even Worse, because
even
we were
worse.
Like, how do we make better pop music? Well, we got to do even worse, you know.
Yeah.
And we would try to write 2 songs a day, but then it might be 4 months until we could work on it again. And we would say, well, this one, let's pick this one and flesh it out. It needs some keys, it needs some horns, it needs some strings, and we would just kind of keep compiling this stuff.
Are the horns real?
We were going to put it out last summer. Yeah, for the most part. I mean, there's all sorts of funny business all over it, but there's a real horn section.
The horn section was something that really stood out to me. I was like, okay, this is wonderful. Yeah.
Right.
And those arrangements, those horn arrangements, Dave Madden's really brilliant at that. He's a great arranger, and whether it was something he came up with in solitude or something one of us was humming, he can, translate that to the players, and they play all the little black dots. So
I remember I remember the first session y'all did, because Dave Madden put it up on Facebook Live and then like turned around at one point and was like, all right.
I think we were the first thing to stream on. We just stuck the camera in the corner of the room and we're making beats, and we were actually having people in the chat. If we needed something, we would say, hey, send us, you singing this or saying this. Or, I don't think any of that stuff made the record, but
I just remember that
eventually
you guys wanted tacos, and Kevin Flatt brought you tacos. That's the thing that I really remember.
That might have led to the taco song. I don't remember.
Yeah, there is a taco song.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something, and I hope that you know that this is the utmost compliment when I say what I'm about to say. Okay. I feel like what y'all could do with this is what Steel Panther did for the 80s. Y'all could be the Steel Panther of the 70s.
I'll totally take that.
That's very complimentary.
So I could see some really cool stuff.
You know,
we clearly Andre's got the fro. We clearly weren't hiding any of the influences there, right? I mean, we really, it wasn't like we weren't shying away from asking and answering what would Quincy Jones do? So it's like, well, you'd probably put these, cowbells here and this there. Well, let's do that. Like we're not going to reinvent the wheel here. We want to make good pop music, and that's what we did. Well, we made pop music anyway. I'm happy with the response we've gotten so far. It's funny, and we didn't want to. It's really me. I suppose I should take the blame for this. I don't want to go out and do anything. I don't want to play a show. I don't want to have my picture taken. I don't want to do anything. So the idea of having a mascot for the band, so we didn't have to have our pictures taken. It turned out to be the dog, and
Gotcha.
So we made Larry. My dog Larry is Mr. Lennon, and I'm seeing these stickers all over the place. Everyone's freaking out about the stickers with him in the glasses, and it says "Stay Cool" on them. And that's the name of the record. It's "Stay Cool" by Mr. Lennon. It's up streaming everywhere. It's 30 minutes. It's like 28 minutes long. You can just put it on and exercise, or you can
Maybe that's
go on
why
a drive.
I love it.
It's
because it's so short. I hate long songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything's pretty short on it. We're just like, all right, the pop songs. Here we go.
Oh, dude, it
get to the point.
It breaks my heart that you don't want to. So you don't want to tour it or do it live. Like you just kind of want to guerrillas it.
Yeah, exactly right.
That's kind of
exactly
something we're kind of modeling after a bit,
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, because I'm telling y'all, y'all could.
The Gorillaz tours.
Okay, I'm just the point of like.
Well, sure, but as long as I don't have to, as long as I don't have to go out and be out in front of anybody.
I hope you license it out to somebody, because I think this could be a weekly residency, kind of like Motown Mondays in Austin. I think people, I just wanted to dance, if I didn't have somewhere to be, I would have pulled over and danced.
Oh,
that is one of the things that I
complimented there.
Yeah, man. And one of the things that I think is a way for us to interact with an audience with this is kind of do a Mr. Lennon installation, like if we could get a club, and have Mr. Lennon come in and throw like a badass hour-long party, and maybe it's in the like Danger Mouse or Daft Punk, maybe there's a guy in a big Mr. Lennon mascot helmet or something, and some party kids come out and hand stickers and drinks to everybody, and we just pump the record for 30 minutes and then throw this crazy party and then disappear. And then just bolt out of the place.
Well, I want to audition to be Mr. Lennon, because that is like my dream.
Oh, no. Bill Murray is going to be Mr. Lennon, and he's going to pull.
Oh, that'd be great. Hey. Hell,
just like that one moment where he like lifts the head up and like steals somebody's drink for a second and just looks at us like, no one's going to believe you, and like walks away.
That's right. He would, and Bill would do that, wouldn't he? Yeah.
Oh, my friend's got a story with Bill Murray where he was in LA and they just went to an In-N-Out burger. And they're just sitting there eating, and Bill Murray just walked by and like grabbed a French fry from my friend's thing, and just looks at me and goes, "No one's gonna believe you," and walks away.
That's great. No one's gonna believe you.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you're right. No one's gonna believe you.
Gar.
Why
do I? Go ahead.
David, is that a Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem shirt?
Oh, it sure is.
One of our viewers,
the greatest band of all time.
One of our viewers was just like asked that. Is that a Dr. Teeth shirt? If so, awesome.
What was that, like episode 3,
it sure
boys?
Is.
Something like that?
No, it's the Muppets.
No, episode like 3 or 4. Remember we did the fictional band episode?
Oh yeah, we talked about Dr. Teeth. Yeah.
That was in
come
our
on,
top
Robin.
5.
Sorry, it was a long time ago. I'm old.
You see, and I think they're fantastic, and I'll tell you this, that one of the things that frustrates me, 1990 baby, about like doing interviews and stuff as a musician, you read these interviews of other musicians, and they ask questions like, who's your influences? Why do you do this? And it's always something really cool, Jimi Hendrix or Led Zeppelin. And anyone my age that answers like that, I call bullshit, because no, it was Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem. Those were the first musicians we saw. Or it was in Back to the Future when Michael J. Fox hits that guitar chord and gets shot across the room.
Yeah.
That's when I wanted to start playing music. It wasn't when I heard Jimi Hendrix or John Coltrane or whatever the right answer is. The right answer is I used to love watching the Muppet Show Sunday on CBS, but there were these other Muppets. There were these stoned Muppets, and like that's what I wanted to be. And 40
Muppet.
years later, I am a stoned Muppet. I own a church. I turned it into a recording studio. I have a Volkswagen bus. I'm living the dream.
Love it. I'll tell you what, you're a Bostonian is now coming out, just so you know. I'm hearing it the more you talk.
I'm waking up a little bit.
I've always heard, it's so funny because like of the two of them, because they're both from Boston. And I'm gonna have them tell the story of how they got to Austin here in a second. But they're both from Boston. But if I met David on the street and started talking to him for a second, I'd immediately know he was a Bostonian. Just in his attitude, just the way he carries himself, the way he talks. But Andre actually is the one that when he talks, I can hear the accent come out every once in a while. And you're the one with the actual accent that I can hear until if we're at like a pool party or something and there's been some drinks or whatever, I can hear David's accent then.
Side note, you guys will never guess what movie I watched before I went to Tampa.
If we're talking about this, it's got to be The Departed.
Is it Ted? Oh.
Back to the Future, nailed it.
There you go.
Well, now we know. Thank you.
So, how did you guys start? You started in Boston, and you brought your crazy, creative musical selves to Austin. How? Why? Like, what? Why here? I mean, for obvious reasons, Austin is amazing, but why? Going from Boston, why here?
Well, had done New York a couple times and come home to lick my wounds. Nashville wasn't all that attractive to me or either of us. And at the time, I was dating a girl who had family in San Antonio, always wanted to go back to Texas. We had certainly kind of maxed out what we were doing on the South Shore of Massachusetts anyway. It was pretty clear that, change was afoot. And so we came to Austin. I mean, Dre, we talked about it for 4 seconds or something.
Yeah, I remember you just asked, hey, I think I want to move the recording studio to Austin, Texas. What do you think, man? And I just said, I think I was smoking a cigarette. I was like, yeah, sure, man. That's cool. And that was the extent of the conversation. I'm like, I've never been to Austin. Like, all right, cool, let's go. Why not? That was literally the extent of the conversation about it, like, to decide to go.
You had been working there at the studio with me for a couple years at least. I mean, maybe 4 or 5.
God,
and I said, all right, well.
I have no idea anymore.
What year did this all go down?
Andre said, sure. This is 2007 or 2008 when the conversation started. Okay. And Dre said, sure. So I said, all right, I'm going to Mexico.
We were in high school at the time, Zach.
And I spent about 4 months in Mexico, and Andre ran the studio while I was gone. And then we had everything shipped down to Austin. And, I think the best thing that I ever did.
Yeah.
It just, and, I've learned that over time when I'm getting thoughtful resistance, I'm usually onto something. There was not more than one person, many more than one person in my life said, you're moving a studio to Austin, like you're bringing sand to the beach. They don't need it. What are you doing? And 12 years later, we're busier than ever. We survived the pandemic and just found a community of creatives here that have in many ways responded to the stuff that we do.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, haven't had a real job.
It feels good.
12 years.
It's been wonderful.
Yeah. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
I hate that. Music is a real job, man. It is. I know we joke about it, but
oh God, we work harder than most people.
But
We all work harder than most people
Sure.
do. Other people sleep. They have other things to do. We don't.
I think the hardest part is how much effort goes in for how little the compensation is. But if you all you have to do is drive down the street and watch, a couple guys, putting in a driveway or, framing a house to go, yeah, we don't work. That's not work.
We don't sleep. We don't work.
Making music in our air-conditioned studio is not pouring concrete.
Sure,
we should really enjoy it. We should enjoy it.
Absolutely. Oh man.
So we have a question in the chat for David and Andre. Excluding the Muppets, if you could rock out with any fictional rock star, who would you pick?
I love this
Fictional
question already.
rock star. Jesus.
I mean, Josie from the
fictional-
Pussycats, she was cute.
Josie and the Pussycats. They were great. They were
I mean, if I
cartoons,
gotta-
but
If I only get one wish, I think I'll pick the lady.
Jesus,
Who else
I
was
don't
a
know.
great fictional? Well, there was Josie and the Pussycats. There was Gem and the Holograms. Why do I only know the girl bands?
Jim the Holograms. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's funny. Man, I don't know. Do we have to play like live? Do we have to like go play a live
I
show?
don't have to
Because
go
I don't
anywhere.
No,
want
just to rock out with.
Right?
That's it just says just to rock out with. It doesn't say live or anything.
I'm going with Josie and the Pussycats, man. I want to hang out with those ladies and shake a tambourine.
Josie and I remember the theme song still, and the Pussycats. That was so great.
Long
I
tails
would
and ears for
say-
hats.
I mean, Wild Stallion wouldn't be bad,
Oh, that's a good one.
that wouldn't be bad.
I was wearing my Be Excellent to each other shirt earlier today.
Nice, right on. Did they finish making that new one yet?
Yeah, it's
That's
out.
great. It's awesome. And guess
It's
what?
out?
Zach
Really?
and Robin have not watched it.
We haven't watched
It's on
it yet.
Hulu,
Oh wow.
It's on Hulu now.
Really?
Hey,
but I
you guys
haven't
watched
seen
it?
the second one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, Zach.
wow.
Zach,
All
I
right,
have
gotta hang
the.
up, guys. We'll see you later.
I finally have the second one on DVD. So when you want it, I'll send it to you. So
Less.
DVD.
Dude, I wanted to buy. So the
Yes,
other day, I wanted to
DVD.
buy the vinyl.
Yeah, what is it? Seriously.
David, have
How
you
old are
not
you?
seen? Have you not seen my DVD collection in
It's
the
like
house?
480p. Why would you watch anything on DVD?
Hey, 40p is better than like 480i though.
I just don't. Okay.
Right over my head.
DVD it is.
Right. So hold on. So this should be like you guys got your answers. Zach, Robin.
You know my answer. I don't
We
even
should-
have to talk.
I know you. Yeah, Izzy cool. I eat loads of it, mate.
Loads of it by Steel Dragon, the greatest band of all time.
I'm thinking, who do I pick? Brendan Fraser,
That's awesome.
Steve Buscemi, or Adam Sandler? Who
The
who do I
Lone
rock out
Rangers.
for?
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
By the way,
Lone
speaking of
Rangers.
DVD, you can only get that movie on DVD or
Yeah.
VHS.
Yeah.
I'm sure, because I can't find it. On
I've been
Apple
looking for
Music.
it everywhere.
Trust me, if anyone's looked for it, it's me. I also have a 1994 Lone Rangers tour shirt. So
No way, really?
God bless you, 80s Tees. If you want to sponsor us,
Oh man.
Robin?
trying to think
Are you? Oh, you want me to? Okay. I don't. They're not. I know they're technically not a. They're not a band. They were just two guys singing the song. But
Don't
I would
play this game.
absolutely.
Come on.
I would absolutely love to sing "You've Lost That Love and Feeling" with Maverick and Goose from Top Gun. I'd love to do that. That would be amazing.
It's a terrible answer, Rob.
Terrible. I know it's terrible. I'd
I
just
mean-
love to do it. I think it'd be fun.
It's
I'm canceling our
You could
session
have
now.
literally done anything else. Like, that's not even like an answer.
That's technically an answer.
Oh,
Dude, you
You
could have
could-
said Alvin
you
and the
could-
Chipmunks, Robin, and that would have been a cooler answer.
Would Alvin and
That's
Chipmunks really have been
have
that
their
cool?
shirts off and playing volleyball.
I was gonna say
They
you
have
could
their
have at least
shirts
said like,
off.
"Hey, Iceman and Tom Cruise, like, let's go."
Hey, I just think it'd be
Boom,
fun.
Let's go.
Somewhere out there,
Instead,
I
you're like,
want-
"Hey, I
my-
want to be at the bar in a navy suit or a."
They're not a-
Top
With a
Gun."
bunch of dudes.
Yeah. With shirts on.
Okay,
Really?
I actually just thought of another one. Maybe Eddie and the Cruisers.
Yes.
mm.
There you go, Eddie and the Cruisers. There you go. That could be. A
I
fun
stand
one.
by my answer.
I hope these guys shit on you all day at during your studio sessions.
You just lost your production.
Yeah.
First off, Tosh, no, Top Gun does not suck. You can back off.
Wow.
So
I never said Top Gun.
no, Tosh did in the chat. She just put up Top Gun sucks, and I was like, you know what?
Well, she's just jealous because Steve Stevens made a beautiful song.
I play it all the time.
Absolutely.
Whenever we
Steve Stevens is awesome.
Whenever we plug the guitar in to for me to play anything, I just start playing the Top Gun theme.
Dude, you know what number
I was like, dude, is that Top Gun?
Every time.
That's like tomorrow before I go to the Lightning game, I'm gonna listen to the Top Gun anthem because it pumps me up.
Because it's great. And you've got Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone in the movie as well, so it's like
I mean, Tom Cruise, whatever you think about him, he's got great soundtracks.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Well,
even
Rock
Days
of
of Thunder is a good soundtrack.
Days of Thunder, and then you got Jerry Maguire, like he's singing Free Fallin'. Like, come on, Tom Cruise is a part of like a lot of good soundtracks.
That's true.
Dude, Highway to the Danger Zone, that song gets me going. Like, I want to listen to that before any first date. Like, that, it just it gets me in the zone, man. Seriously.
Is she in the car when you do this, or is this solo?
No. That's on the way to pick them up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the
If
thing.
she's in the car, it's not gonna
That's why you're single, dude.
Maybe that's the thing. Whenever you go to pick up the girl, you need to, like, when they walk out the door, that's the song you need to have playing, like with the windows rolled down.
Highway to the Danger Zone?
You just need to have Danger Zone playing.
No, you need to have Top Gun anthem going, and then she'll be like, "Oh my God."
There you go.
Done. Sold. She'll
Or
just
Time After Time.
Or
she'll just get in the car and
soundtrack. Take My Breath Away by Berlin.
There you go. That's true.
Yeah, she'll just get in the car and be like, "So when are we
the
getting
love
married?"
scene.
Do you know
She
why?
won't have anything to say because her breath will be taken away.
Do you know why the love scene is shot more as a silhouette? Like they're kind of, you don't see them that well. They're all like silhouetted out, and it's in like a dark room. Do you know why they did that?
Do you know?
Because
the
I don't remember her.
Just say it.
I don't remember her name. I don't remember the actress's name, but she was
Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Gillis.
Yeah,
Kelly
yeah.
Gillis.
Preston?
She
Kelly Gillis.
she had dyed her hair brunette for another movie that she was in, and then they had to go back and reshoot that scene or add it in or whatever they were doing, and they had to do it that way because her hair didn't match the color anymore. So if you watch that scene, you can look at her hair and clearly tell that it's much darker than it is in the rest of the film. So
That's what I was looking at when I watched that.
yeah,
scene.
of course.
I was like, I thought you were blonde earlier.
I don't even know
Kelly
what movie
McGillis.
you're talking about. What movie are you
Kelly
talking
McGillis, that's Top Gun.
So
okay,
I
right.
I gotta admit that there's a sexy scene in there. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but when Tom Cruise goes, "Oh, this should work," in the girl's bathroom, I don't think you get away with that these days, but it's pretty sexy. Like if I was a girl, I'd be like, "Nice." Man.
There you go.
See, I of course you would catch that, but it's very subtle, you know.
I never caught that. So I'm gonna have
Well,
to go back
no,
and watch that. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
Robin's gonna rewatch this and go, "God damn it, TJ."
Okay, so
This was such a wholesome movie.
He's gonna
until you
text me and
told
go,
that.
"I
Yeah.
get it now." I'm like, "Robin, that's weird. It's 2 a.m."
I mean, my entire like view of the Navy for decades was like, okay, all they do is just fly planes and play volleyball and sing, you know, "You Lost That Love and Feeling." That's it.
That's
And
not
have
what it
shredded
is.
abs.
Yeah, that's it. and race jet planes on their motorcycle. Okay.
Do we know if there was an increase in recruitment after
Yes.
a movie like Top Gun comes out?
they actually had.
I'm sure.
They had recruitment booths at
sure.
the movie theaters because so many people were yes.
I was in the womb and I
Wow.
was like, "I'm in."
Yeah.
I'm in.
I've got one of my best
Then I
friends
found out you had to
joined.
cut your hair, and I was like, "I'm not cutting my hair."
One of my best friends joined the Navy because of Top Gun.
Jack.
And was it anything like the movie?
No.
Did they at least play volleyball?
Yeah, you were saying
they
that
do play
today. What
volleyball.
was it like?
Yeah.
He was like an accountant or something. isn't he?
He's a public affairs officer. So he's actually like
yeah,
super
sure.
important.
Close
But
enough.
yeah. It's just funny that he joined the Navy because of fucking Top Gun.
Is it Dave?
Yeah.
I'll be dang.
Yeah.
Cool. What's up, Dave? If you're watching.
He's somewhere in Virginia right now in boot camp, so he's actually getting shipped out for once. So his assignment has been stateside his whole career, and now he's actually being deployed.
Oh,
so,
where's he going?
I don't know specifically. I need to call him and ask. So
let me guess, not America.
No, not America. Somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I do have questions to get back to our guests on this. You lived through the 80s. You actually remember, well, maybe remember the 80s.
Yeah.
Was there anything out of the 80s that was like, it's a two-part question. So was there anything out of the 80s that was insanely influential to you? Like when this came out, it just blew your mind. You're like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. And it defined, things for you. And then was there things out of the 80s that you were like, my God, I'm glad that this stayed in the 80s and did not go forward. Like, this is terrible.
Oh, tons of that stuff, man. I mean, like, it depends on like what era of the 80s we're talking about. I mean, I grew up I had an older brother. So my first concert, and actually the reason why I play guitar, if we're gonna go down this road, it's a embarrassing road.
Oh no, it's not.
My brother used to take me to shows when I was a kid. I think my first show I went to, I was like 11 or 12 maybe, and I would go to we were all hair metal bands, we'd go all the time. Like,
the
so
best
I've
bands.
I've got every. I'm still probably. I mean, I've got like everything you can imagine on tape, like all like Kicks, I've got on tape. I've got like just ridiculously awesome bands.
Kicks is awesome, by the way.
But they were badass. I'm still a big Cinderella fan.
Oh,
Tom Kiefer, hell of a guitar player, underrated guitar player.
Great musician, all the way.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But the first concert I went to was I was 12 years old. It was Poison headlines. It was on the it wasn't a Talk Dirty to Me. It was right after Every Rose came out. It was Poison, Britney. Yeah, I was opening up to the second one.
Britney Fox.
It was Poison, Britney Fox, and Lita Ford.
Ooh.
And Lita Ford came out on stage on a Harley. It was badass. It was unbelievable, man. It was so great. It was a great show. And actually, the reason why I started playing guitar when I was like 11 or 12 years old was, this is quite embarrassing, but the day Talk
Story. I love
Weird.
Poison. I love CC DeVille.
Yeah, me too.
I know he gets a lot of crap, but
Oh,
I think he's great.
Yeah,
And-
he's awesome.
That guitar pick right there, CC DeVille.
Boom.
Oh, no,
Nice.
very nice, man.
Yep.
Right on.
I've got a Nikki Sixx and a CC DeVille guitar pick on my necklace.
Oh, right on. I was a big Crew fan. I saw the Girls Go Girls tour, That was awesome.
Unbelievable.
Live through that.
Yeah.
In the 80s, I was I'm quite a bit younger than Andre, so I wasn't at those shows, but I loved the pop music. I mean, when I was in the second and third grade, I was just constantly listening to the radio. Loved all of that music, but then the hair metal music thing happened, and it was never really about the music for me. It was the girls with that music. I had an older brother too, and so all the older girls in the neighborhood, like the high school girls, the way they dressed, those acid washed jeans and the big hair, I was like, geez, how do I get to these girls? And I was just a little kid, so I didn't know, I just was like, I know they have bras on. I don't know how they work. I want to see a bra, and I know they're under there. I don't know what to do with them, but all the music videos, were in black and white, and they had these hot chicks in them. And so I went to hair metal, but I didn't really care for the music much. I loved watching the videos. For me, it was 89, the end of the 80s, when Fear of a Black Planet came out, the Public Enemy record. As a drummer, just kind of I felt like I heard interesting rhythm again.
Hells yeah, man.
I was listening to a lot of jazz and kind of studying the drums, and there was plenty of bad electric jazz in the late 80s, to do that with. And And then I heard that Public Enemy record, Fight the Power, and was like, that's what I want my drums to sound like. And I became a total hip hop head for about 5 years.
Man.
Was listen to hip hop, which, you know, on the South Shore of Massachusetts in 1989, it wasn't like it is today. Let's just put it that way. You know, I got picked on a lot for listening to hip hop. And, you know, when I visit home and go into those same neighborhoods, everybody's dressed hip hop now. You know? Hip hop is
I was the only brown guy in like 5 towns.
And you were listening to metal.
Yeah, I was listening to metal. I was listening to hip hop too. But yeah.
But in terms of things that should stay in the 80s, I mean,
leg warmers.
I don't know. Every decade has its.
No, dude, I think the right chick
has its overindulgence movement.
They can pull them off. They're I don't know. It's like, just put on pants, man.
I don't know. All that stuff's hot to me because I was so young when it was like I was so impressionable when I, saw the leg warmers and leotards. It's just etched into my brain.
So I take it, if you're a fan of the 80s, are you a fan of like animal print, red lipstick, leather jackets? Are these all things that you're okay with?
Stop. This is really getting to me.
David's going to need to take 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I grew up in a nice neighborhood and with as normal as any family can be. So, anything trashy, of course, you always want the opposite, right? So it's like, I would see these kind of trashy girls in these trashy music videos. And it's like, that's what I want, trash in my, I want to wake up on a pizza box like these guys,
I can't believe that's considered trashy because that is right to my heart, man.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. And then then I kind of had that changeover of like late 80s and then early 90s, but a lot of people don't think of it being like late 80s, but most of them started like bands like, Sonic Youth, kidding me, when Daydream Nation came out, like I was skating and stuff and I was like, holy shit, this is amazing, like I don't even know what this is, so I kind of did this kind of bit of transition. I'm a bit of a audiophile, so I've always just collected everything over the years. But when Mudhoney's first album came out, come on, Mudhoney's badass. Like those kind of bands. Fugazi, I was a big fan of. Minor Threat, that kind of stuff too in the late 80s. That stuff that people kind of really identify with the 90s, but early 90s. But they all started it was like 88.
Wasn't Daydream Nation like 84? Didn't they do that
Daydream
way
Nation,
early?
I think Daydream.
I don't know,
they got together early. I think Daydream Nation was like 88. I want to say it was like 87 or 88 that Daydream Nation came out.
I didn't discover it till later, but that sent me down a path of,
I thought you were talking about
1988
of the Nation.
October 18th, 1988.
Hey, Robin, way to go. You found Google.
Don't question me. I'm Dr. Rock.
No, when you kept on saying something of the nation, I thought you were talking about Youth of the Nation. We are.
Oh, POD?
Oh, God, no.
Wrong generation.
No.
Sonic Youth. Yeah. Sonic Youth, man. Thurston Moore. How to make a guitar and not sound like a guitar. Like, you're not good at playing guitar, make it into something else, and it was really interesting. Really opened up a lot of kind of things. Them and Fugazi, for me, opened up a lot of, different way to play guitars. I'm not some virtuoso. How do I make interesting music without being an amazing guitar player? It's like, okay, figure out how to use it as an instrument, but it doesn't have to be a guitar. It's almost like a drum. It's almost like, with feedback and all those kinds of things of really kind of finding ways just to manipulate sound to make it just weird. I like it when things go left when you think it's going to go right a lot,
Right on.
That's my
So
thing.
you must be a U2 fan.
I can't stand it.
Nice. Bono, if you want to come on, that's cool, but...
People have those... They should have stayed in the fucking 80s, pardon my language.
No, you're good.
No, I just don't like them. It's like my taste is different than other people's, but fuck them.
You said you like making guitars sound like not a guitar, so, put 100 effects on it.
He's talking like...
too cool stuff.
Yeah, he's talking like manipulation to a whole other level. The Edge just puts delay on.
Yeah, I was gonna say delay guitar sounds like guitar to me. So we still use a trick in the studio sometimes that came from watching one of these Sonic Youth making of videos or whatever. But will detune the guitar all the way till the strings are super loose and put a drumstick between the strings and the 12th fret, and then you tune it back up to either the key of the song or use ostrich tuning and just make every string the same note, but it's in the key of the song. And then you can get this big chime out of it, and then if you push down on the strings, you get this this really wild surfy sound that you really can't get out of a guitar unless you go to such drastic measures. And then you drop it from waist high, and that makes quite the sound too. That was something that those bands did was experimenting with, what else could it do, right? I mean,
yeah.
I love that about you get a keyboard and the first thing you do is throw the manual out, right? Well, let's see what else can it do,
Yeah, I'm gonna plug this into that and see what that goes. Like, let's see what happens here, all right, cool.
And I think that was one of the most beautiful things about the 80s is, like, the first time I ever heard Sonic Youth, I literally got, like, my friend started playing it, I got up from where I was sitting, walked over to the jukebox thing, whatever he had, and I turned it off, and I was like, no. And I walked away because it was just so weird. And
chaos.
But like that's what the 80s were. It's like, you've had music for centuries, and then all of a sudden, in the late 20s, 30s, and 40s, you introduce these electric elements to things. And I believe it was in the 40s when you got, I'm probably wrong on this because every time I say something like this on the podcast I'm wrong.
I'll call you out. Just say it.
Okay. I believe it was in the 40s when we got the electric bass, and it like fucking changed everything. And then it became a staple in the music in the 50s, and then when you get to the 80s, you've got this technology that everybody's just going, what does this do? And like you've got the synthesizers, and you're getting digital reverbs.
Moogs came out.
Yeah, Moogs,
Moogs came. It changed everything.
But I feel like we're coming back to that because I feel like a lot of bands and artists are running out of ideas, and they're they're buying these synthesizers, and what does this do?
So there are only 12 notes. There are only 12 notes. There's only so much you can do with it. So what else can you do?
I have a theory about that.
That's always my gut.
So two things. One, if you've seen the newest A Star Is Born, you remind me of Sam Elliott when he said there's 12 notes. That's it.
Oh, really?
It's just a matter of what you do with them.
I'll take a Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott.
There, right on.
I wish I could have his mustache and talk like him. So maybe when I'm like 75 or something.
Voice.
Oh man.
Great movie. Go on.
Never saw
second thing is Prince. I was thinking about songs like the dude just used like drum tracks. Like there was like no, like I know I'm biased from like Minnesota in theory, but like dude, like that's I even
David and I
that.
are big Prince fans.
Prince is unreal.
Yeah.
Was rest in peace.
I have a theory about the reason we're coming back to all of this weirdness from the 80s and all that kind of stuff.
It's because we started this podcast.
Yes, exactly.
We're bringing it back.
So I think the industry got so sterile in the sense of like the record company Suits figured out like, okay, this sells a song. This is the formula, and they refined that formula so much that you get people like Luke Bryan. I mean, and he's gonna sell.
There goes Luke Bryan off the podcast.
And I'm not saying Luke Bryan is a person.
Who's Luke Bryan?
But you get that he's a created entity. That concept of like this is gonna sell, and so I think all that now that you have, the freedom to just release whatever the hell you want to on the internet, and you'll most likely find fans throughout the whole world.
Where are our fans, Robin?
We've got them. They're commenting. So
they're not in India because I don't think we're in India yet.
That's true.
Correct?
No, we're not in India yet. We'll get there.
All right.
But so you've got access to literally everybody in the world now, and so anybody can create anything and get it out, and it gets to the world. And so now all these people who are influenced by all of this stuff over all these previous decades can actually get their music out because there's no gatekeepers anymore. And so I think that's why we're seeing this massive influx of extremely weirdly, beautifully creative people, because now everybody has access to everybody.
Dude, I'm sorry. You said gatekeeper. I'm just, all I can think of is Ghostbusters. I am the key master, the gatekeeper.
Exactly.
After
3 feet over. In that to that same end, it's also what we are in this extremely fortunate situation we have been for a few years now, that we have access to listen to every type of music that's ever been made. Mm-hmm. You can listen to the history of music. You can go through and cherry pick the parts of the things that you like, and then you kind of take them apart, put them together in your own kind of way. It's really hard to create a new genre. It's like hard to create new types of music. But what we can do in a really kind of cool way, play somebody like Beck or something like that, is a really good example of who can do that well. Take a bunch of different like blues guitar, and then you mix that with beats, and then you've got like acoustic guitar on it too, and just all these different ways of like mixing organic and inorganic types of music, mixing them together to create something new. So Sonic Youth was kind of like that to some degree, but like Radiohead's a good example of that as well, you know, I think.
Yeah.
So we're lucky.
You know,
cherry pick everything.
David, to use your catalog of music as an example here, you've got your album Waiting for Eldridge, which is a great album, and it's this, but it's very not but and it's, you know, it's kind of, I don't want to say alt country, but there's this kind of alt country flair to it. And then your next album, Time Bomb, is very Petty influenced, and the writing across all of your stuff is equally brilliant. But it was very interesting to hear Waiting for Eldridge, and then hear, you know, Time Bomb, and then hear your new stuff that you've done, which I am blanking on the album title. You're sitting in a bathtub.
New Attitude.
People need haircuts.
New Attitude.
and then the Ugly People Need Haircuts. Yeah. Well, first of all, Robin, I'd like to say that I was under the impression that we were on in India, and this is disappointing.
Well, we're on YouTube, and YouTube's in India. We just don't have like when we.
Hey, we don't know that for sure. Do you have friends in India? We don't know.
YouTube. You can access YouTube, I would assume.
Yeah, they ban stuff in different countries though, so just be careful with your words, bro.
I'm assuming that YouTube is not accessed in China, so.
Okay, well now there goes China beyond the podcast.
Yeah.
DJ, you're cracking me up, man. I did squeak out another record at the end of last year called New Attitude. I had a pretty creative pandemic myself. I did 3 episodes of a variety television show and put a record out. But yeah, I hope they're all different. I mean, and I think that Waiting for Eldridge is an alt country record and probably could have been entirely one. But some of the production just, you know, we just put electronics on it, you know. But yeah, I always want to, you know, try something different. Because I don't have I guess this is to the point of what we're talking about. I mean, I don't have the constraints of, you know, a label making a demand or such a large audience that, you know, well, I gotta, you know, do this again. I better do, you know, Waiting for Pedro or something. You know, I gotta make another album that sounds the same. I don't have to, so why would I? Right? I mean, just. And then it's a personal choice. It's my money. It's my record. If I lose my audience, then later, you know, got to find a new one. Well, you know what I mean? Like yeah. That's part of this thing that we're seeing, that people have the ability to, and you can make those conscious choices to not shoot towards the center of the bullseye, because that's where everyone's trying to go. I'm going to go over here, way up over here, and there's a little conglomerate of people over there that turns out like this thing.
Even if
we have direct access to them now.
Even if you you know, pull back and fire your arrow and miss the target, you still hit something. The arrow lands somewhere.
Yeah. And there's somebody over there, hopefully not in India because we can't get to them, but you know, they you know, they might, you know, listen to it.
Well, yeah, and I think that's the sign, to me at least, of a true artist. Like, let me rephrase that, because you've got bands like 311 who, in my opinion, are true artists, but they've made the same album, for 20 years, and it works for them. Like, that's their sound. They make that album, and it sounds really, really great. And then you have a band, or let's do this. Then you have an artist like Rod Stewart.
Check this out. So David, Andre, have you guys ever heard of the band called Honeymoon Suite?
Honeymoon Suite.
New Girl Now. So. New Girl Now.
New Girl Now. Can't say I have.
The Lethal Weapon.
I got a new girl now.
The theme to Lethal Weapon.
A lot like you.
They did the song Lethal Weapon for Lethal Weapon, the movie.
Oh no!
Oh really?
Robin had never heard of it, and it changed his life when I showed it to him.
Oh, dude, that album, The Big Picture.
Oh, that's right. You were telling me about that.
Oh my God!
I think, yeah.
And he's there. They had that '80s pop, that pop hair metal sound, but he was a baritone voice. So I was like, finally, someone I can fucking sing.
That's awesome.
And
they're from Canada, eh?
Yeah. But to my point, you have a band like 311 who's done the same thing for years and years, and then you have someone, take Rod Stewart for example, who had three very distinctive, different careers, way different sounds, and just kind of going all over the place.
Love Faces.
Yeah,
dude, he's got.
Do you think
one of
I'm
my
Sexy
favorite
is
songs.
The only song that matters by Rod Stewart?
Which
no,
one?
Wrong. I'll disagree with that.
No.
Which one?
Do you think I'm sexy?
Oh, that was a great one.
Yes,
Hot Legs. Stay with me. Come on, it's the only one. Stay with me.
Yeah.
That's his
Is
badass.
Is Stay With Me the one that if you actually listen to the song, it's like, wow, this is actually a pretty rude song?
Oh, it's about picking up a girl and kicking her out.
Yeah.
The song's about kicking her out in the morning, and very obviously they don't try to hide. He didn't try to hide it at all.
Yes.
And man,
Stay With Me.
Yeah, that's just dude. The whirly on that, man. That was Mac, man. That was one of the best keys players who moved to Austin for a long time, and he would play free shows. Ian McClagan. He would play free shows.
Over at that club.
Times. We forget the name of the club. What was it? Lucky Lounge? It's Lucky Lounge.
Yeah, right next to the old Anton.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right. He would play every third Thursday of the month there, and he would just play free. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. Once for Faces and once for Small Faces.
Can you imagine I guess I'll take another induction.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
What is it? Eric Clapton's in there 3 times or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay
All
With
5
Me.
of us will be in there 4 times.
Looking forward to it. Stay With Me is at the end of Wedding Crashers, and that song just puts the cherry on top of that movie.
Dude.
That movie's epic.
One of the best rock and roll songs ever. That movie's great.
And I'm not gonna lie, that's how I discovered that song.
Oh yeah, hey, it doesn't matter where you find it.
No.
Yeah, it's you look at what's happening today with young people in TikTok. I mean, they're discovering soul music and music from the 50s and music from the 70s and using it to tell their own little story. But it's it's as long as you hear it.
Well, I'm sure I've said this on the podcast before, but man, back in the day, before, I listened to Poison all the time. People this music sucks, and then Rock of Love came out, and they're like, oh, I love Poison. It's so awesome. Come on. No, no.
Exactly.
I didn't even want to play it for a minute. I turned it off. I'm like, no, you don't deserve this.
Yeah.
Dude, well, y'all did y'all see a couple of months ago? I guess probably 5 or 6 months ago. Rat did that Geico commercial. I've got a rat problem.
Yep.
And that put them on the charts for the first time because I don't think Round and Round ever made it on the charts, but now
Warren
it is.
DeMartini, great guitar player, by the way.
Oh yeah, unbelievable. He
rest in peace, Robin Crosby. Man, Warren DeMartini. Oof.
It was funny when that Geico commercial came out. I told my girlfriend, I'm like, dude, I remember when that video came out. I remember seeing that on Headbangers Ball when that video came out for Round and Round.
Was that the
oh my
birthday
God.
Party and stuff?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I was like, I remember when that video came out, man, and she's just like, "Oh my God!" I was
videos were
much
everything.
younger.
Well, when my household got MTV, it was such a big deal to me. I don't know what to compare it to nowadays. Maybe somebody getting TikTok, but it was I wanted to get back to MTV. Whatever I was doing, if I had to be at school or basketball, the real goal was to get back to MTV. And, all the videos, all those early hair metal videos were all in black and white. And I remember my dad would walk by and see this, and he would get so mad that the television was in black and white, because he's like, we're paying for cable. Why is everything in black? Like, that was his
all the power ballads were in black and
Yep.
white. That's right.
Absolutely.
Every power ballad, like White Lion, shit like that.
Oh, don't bring that.
Like. Right on.
TJ, are you a White Lion fan?
No. Why does this come up on every podcast?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, raise your hand up if you have a White Lion tattoo. Okay, just had to.
Nice. Really? Nice work,
Jesus,
man.
here we go again.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. That is badass.
All right. Side note before I get sidetracked, do you think, not for you or Zach or Robin, but for our guests, do you think life would be better with roller skating rinks back and Blockbuster, or worse?
Ooh.
Andre, would you like to
look at that deep thought?
I'll take this. Roller skating rinks are still around, and this is actually a good question for me, because my girlfriend is a former Texas roller girl, and she plays in some kind of retiree leagues nowadays. She's a bad motherfucker. I'm afraid of her. She's incredibly awesome, but I'm very afraid of her.
Wait, is she a derby girl?
Yeah,
roller derby.
Yeah.
Oh,
What was her name?
I'd be terrified.
Was it?
See why you're locked in that room right now.
Wasn't her name Kitty? Wasn't her name Kitty Carnage?
Kitty Carnage. Yeah, that was her
Yeah.
derby name.
Kidney
She's
or
played
kitty?
Kitty.
Kitty.
Okay.
Actually,
Cute, but
actually,
aggressive.
what is it? This one's my shirt. It says
My man.
Kitty's
got
got claws.
Deontay, she can probably whip all of our asses, but
Oh,
go
yes.
on.
Very much. So.
I can vouch for that
Yeah.
wholeheartedly.
I can do it.
I
on
guess,
Blockbuster,
TJ,
though.
well, yeah, what is the connection between Blockbuster and the roller rink? Do you mean in the
I'm
sense
just thinking
of
of like
a
the
slower...
90s. Like I grew up in the 90s,
We all
and
did.
like life was awesome. You go to you'd call Blockbuster and be like, "Hey, is Mario Party available?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, it is. You better
That's
get here in the
awesome.
next 10 minutes." I'm like, "Hell yeah."
That's
there.
Oh my God! Right, but wouldn't you say
That's
now is
awesome.
better because you have that thought and you can open a device and download it in moments and have it forever?
Yes and no. That's the problem. I think that's where we get too attached. I'm not gonna get too deep.
Yeah.
I'm just that's the quick.
No,
question.
I think now is better. I think now is better because I don't have to go to Blockbuster. I'm not handling a DVD that's been in someone else's house. That's so disgusting. And I can just anything I think of, I can make this magic box that I'm speaking into right now do. And I can't wait until there's more of it. I welcome our robot overlords. I'm looking forward to the things that hopefully I'll get to see by the end of my life of how little hopefully humans will be doing, and we'll have our robots doing it all for us.
Hell yes, I like that. I do kind of wish tomorrow, I want to get a call from Blockbuster sir, your movie's overdue. That'll be $5.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Hell yeah, that's fine. I'll give you $5.
I worked at a video studio.
Yeah.
Did anyone else work at a video
I got
studio?
Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck.
Dude, Howard the Duck Wales.
With Leah Thompson?
She was a
I was
Yeah.
Hey, okay, let's reevaluate the question we asked earlier. Who you'd hang out with, rock out with? Probably Leah Thompson from Cherry Bomb.
Probably.
Howard the Duck. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Just in
okay,
case she
Leah.
liked you or something
There
like
you go.
that.
Okay.
The bass player in that band is Dominic
Okay.
Dawes,
Okay.
who's in town and played with the Blue Bonnets, and she's one of the girls in that band playing
Yeah.
with Howard and Leah.
There you go.
I don't know why,
That's
but
crazy.
it just came into my brain, guys. I'm sorry.
That's
No,
wonderful.
we like that.
That's this show is got a little bit of ADD to it. So
A little bit. Before I forget to, Andre, how did you come up with the name Dr. Rock, or how did you establish yourself as Dr. Rock? 'Cause it's an awesome
Okay.
name.
Oh, cool. Actually, it's a title of a Ween song. You ever listen to Ween?
The name's
That's a hard no.
The name's familiar.
Yeah, that's a no. That's a no.
I'm gonna check.
The name is a type of a Ween song. Yeah.
The three of us were born in 1989. There you go. Do with that what you
Check
want.
out chocolate.
And believe it or not, I'm the oldest.
Chocolate and cheese.
There's an album called Chocolate and Cheese by Ween.
Okay.
That Chris Shaw produced and recorded. It's unbelievable. Really strange, really awesome stuff. They do a better version, which they do is random stuff. It's all over the map. Their first album was called The Pod, and it was all about a Scotch Guard. They made a Scotch Guard bong out of a gas mask. Interesting cats. But we used to have David and I used to have like a podcast radio show, and that was just my name. I don't even know how it came about, just because I'm a ridiculous collector and nerd for music history trivia and stuff like that, probably. But
you should meet Robin.
Yeah, you know what? He can name every Van Halen album except 1985. Oh wait, is that the right title, Robin? Is it 84? I'm not sure.
I just want you to make sure that you're seeing this in the camera right now.
That's great.
Actually, your screen is blank right now. I think your camera battery died. All right, go on. Sorry.
Must be.
But also, Ween did an amazing cover, and I dare I say, I'm a big Van Halen fan. Dare I say, better version of "Hot for Teacher."
Okay, those are fighting words, but I will go and listen to it.
Unbelievable. I'm
gonna wait. You have the doctor on.
I'm gonna wait for the text messages after this of like, he is such a liar. This is terrible.
I'm a huge Van Halen fan. More David Lee Roth than although 5150 was cool. And
man, Live Without a Net, that DVD.
Dude,
yeah.
I've got that on tape. Yeah.
It's a great show. Michael Anthony
was
played
it
bass solo.
The Jack bass, the Jack
Daniels
the Jack
bass.
While drinking Jack, like what could be cooler?
Chug a Jack.
Yep.
That was awesome, man. I remember I have that on tape somewhere still, like on VHS tape. I remember taping that off like HBO or something when it was on it, and or MTV. But I remember it was in New Haven, Connecticut.
Yep.
I remember them going,
New Halen.
We're reading this New Halen, Connecticut. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, so this has come up on the podcast
from Stubbs, by the way. Stubbs in Austin.
Oh yeah.
I forgot what I was saying because Zach cut me off.
What are you listening to Ween right now?
Van Halen.
Yeah.
Are you listening to Ween?
Oh my god.
Oh, all right, now I remember. So
Strange.
back in 2008, throwback, right? There was a Virgin record store in Disney World when I worked there, and my buddy and I every Friday, we made minimum wage at Disney, whatever, and we'd go buy a concert DVD every week, and one was Live Without a Net.
Nice.
It's awesome.
Right
I think I have Europe in 1986 live, Final Countdown.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Europe's first album.
The only one they needed.
Yeah. Does anyone know the name of the follow-up video? It was on the second album. What was the name of the song?
Ooh, Cherokee, Carrie.
Cherokee. There
Oh,
he goes.
that's right,
Trail of
Cherokee.
Tears. Walking on the Trail of Tears.
Cherokee.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jesus.
And
yeah.
David, Andre has a new nickname, doesn't he? One that you absolutely love?
Rock Detention. Yeah. On my screen.
There's the news reporter, the music reporter for the Austin American-Statesman, our local newspaper, last Friday referred to Andre as, quote, studio ace. And
I'm a studio ace,
we haven't heard the end of it, and I need to send him a note to say how terrible, how angry I am that he would say such a nice thing about Andre. I don't like it. I think most of the attention and affection should be focused on me, quite frankly.
Well,
I love it.
It's great.
Dude,
Anytime anybody says anything, I'm like, hey, I'm a studio ace. Just take it easy, okay?
Wait, so
and Robin has a new nickname too.
Go
Oh,
God.
That's a new nickname.
What is it?
His nickname is
1985?
Goat Cheese. It's
God,
Goat Cheese.
No.
Goat cheese. That's right. We
I
call it
love
goat
goat cheese, like on a Ritz cracker
Yeah.
and maybe some like
Yeah.
jalapeno
Oh, God, yeah.
jam.
Have you ever
So
had
you
it on
have
a
to,
bison
that's
burger?
that's his radio name is Goat Cheese. So
Goat
like
Cheese.
from now
Great.
on, he
Great.
gets referred to as Goat
Thanks.
Cheese.
Thanks for telling them, because now
Hey.
now it'll never go away.
Hey, the
I
next
know.
intro
Zach
is gonna be-
TJ and the goat cheese.
Yeah.
I'm Zach,
Hey,
I'm
Robin, it's
TJ,
better than
and I'm
toe
goat
cheese.
It's true. Okay, fair enough. It's better than toe cheese. I got it. But
Yeah. So you got to pick one or the other, because that's the only two I'm giving you.
That's pretty good. Life is good.
No,
My work
this
here
is
is done.
podcast. This is what you guys do.
Apparently, we've done it 40 times.
I told
guess.
you.
So, hey, and no one will take this away from you guys. You will never not be the 40th guest.
You're the 40th
Oh,
episode.
cool.
Hey.
Well, hey,
You're the
we're on it.
40th episode and the 30th guest.
And
So-
Robin actually told us
Oh, no.
when we first started, said if we make it 40 episodes, I'm gonna buy T-shirts for whoever's on the 40th podcast.
Hey,
Boom.
all right.
Yeah. I was gonna say
Yeah, thank you.
I was detained.
I just want mine to say Goat Cheese.
Yes.
All I got was this
This is
crummy
goat
t-shirt.
cheese.
Goat cheese.
Yeah. I
That's what-
ate goat cheese
Andre,
on
that's
Rock
what yours is
Detention.
gonna. I'm gonna get you a personalized shirt that says "I was on Rock Detention and all I got was this goat cheese." That's it.
That'd be great.
Yum.
That's terrific.
Ugh. Well,
I'll be down.
What else?
I think we are arriving to the end of this lovely conversation.
Oh,
that
Robin
we've had
wants to
this
kill it.
evening.
He's a party pooper.
Well, thanks for having us on, guys.
Dude,
Well, thanks
we're
for
gonna
being
have to have y'all back.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to have y'all back
Oh, yeah.
because I love having people who not only lived through the generation with which inspired us to start this podcast, but still make music that was inspired through that generation. And
Right on.
so it's always
Hell yeah,
a
man.
pleasure. And
Appreciate it.
This was
Hells yeah, man.
so much fun to have y'all on
It's
here.
really, thank you, Robin. And it's really nice to meet you guys too.
Absolutely,
Zach
man.
and TJ. TJ, I got a nephew in Tampa, so I'm gonna visit there someday, and I'm gonna hit you up.
Hey,
I'm gonna
well,
buy you-
I'm okay with that. I'll buy you a beer too, and then we'll just keep going all night and see what happens.
And TJ, you'll have to fly
What
down
I
to
figured
Tampa.
would happen.
Hey, if you guys want Game 5 tomorrow, I'll
So-
be here.
So TJ lives in Minneapolis. He's down in Tampa.
Oh well.
But when you're in Tampa, because I've never been to Tampa. So if
Hey,
you're
well,
going to
now-
Tampa,
Then when I'm
let's
in
go to Tampa.
Minneapolis, we'll.
Let's all go to Tampa.
Well, let's figure out where I am first, and then
Yeah.
we'll buy
Does
each
the
other
show
beers.
does the show have the budget to move us all somewhere?
That's
Well, we're
the,
getting there. 40 episodes of the podcast.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
well, that just made me think we need to make a new social media thing for TJ. Like, where in the U.S. is TJ?
Hey. By the way, I think
Yeah.
this is the 40th different shirt I've worn on the podcast, and I think I'm the first on this podcast to do it in 3 different locations.
Nice.
Yeah.
TJ, that's
Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
That's
I've only
dedication
got
right
2.
there.
it's commitment.
That's
commitment.
dedication right there.
Because Robin and Zach have done it in 2 different locations. I had to up the bar.
Yeah.
Nice.
Righteous.
Thank you guys, and thank you for listening to Mr. Lennon.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That was guys. Good Lord, what is that noise? It's me.
It's a guitar, I think.
Everybody, definitely go check out Mr. Lennon. Especially if you're in for some disco vibes. Are y'all familiar with an Austin band called Yachty? Alex Chod? Does that ring a bell?
No.
Oh.
No.
He does kind of the same vibes. Anyway, but yes, go check out Mr. Lennon. Guys, it was an absolute pleasure meeting y'all. Had a blast hanging.
Hey,
Thank
man.
you for
Thank
being
you
here.
guys for having us.
For all of those who tuned in, thank you all for being here. We got a guest every week this month, so come and hang. I love you. God bless you. Have a great week. Mr. TJ.
Yeah, staying committed, doing it from a hotel room in Tampa, hurricane and all, whatever, I guess. It is what it is. Thank you guys for hanging out. You guys are awesome. Can't wait for beers in person. Love you guys. Subscribe to the whatever stuff that we talk about. And over to you, Robin.
Guys, thank you so much for. Well, there goes David.
Oh,
Guys, thank you so much for coming on. We have a big Skype, like on the YouTube thing. There's a big Skype logo now.
Thanks, David.
So Oh, there he is. And he's back.
Okay. Yeah, you just stay on the whole time. Just smile and look at it.
I thought we were done. I'm sorry.
No.
I didn't know if you had a graphic that was.
He obviously has never watched a full episode.
No. We've listened fully to his album. Clearly, he's never watched a full episode of ours. It's okay. We are.
Hey, before I forget, where does Space Kung Fu come from?
Oh yeah.
We just were hanging around and I don't even know. I think we might have had a few drinks. I think tequila.
Hey, I love tequila.
We wanted to do something from outer space, and there was a couple magazines hanging around from the Planetary Group or something. There was some planetary magazine, and we were taking lines out of that, and we wanted to say, we're in outer space and we come across these aliens, and we were like, oh, well, somebody said what would you think if you were in outer space and you saw this alien ship come up? And we said, well, I hope they don't know Kung Fu. And we decided to, lean into that and make it about you're not worried about the fact that they're aliens. You're worried about they may know Kung Fu.
Yeah, that's the worst thing that could happen. I don't even know, probably other bad things could probably happen. I've seen alien movies.
A bunch of Bruce Lee ETs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. With his little flipper feet kicking like that. That'd be great.
Well,
hell yeah.
Go check out Mr. Lennon. It is, so far, in my opinion, one of the best albums to come out in 2021. It's the album of the summer. So go listen to it. Go check them out. You can find both Andre and David on the social medias, specifically under Instagram. They're under Same Sky Productions. Go follow them. They're always up to something. I live next door to the studio, so they're always up to something. Trust me. And please follow us on social medias and all the things that you do. And yes, for those of you wondering, those are fully automatic Nerf guns in the corner. And on that note, class dismissed.
Is this thing still on?
No, dude, we're not done yet. Keep going. Keep it going.
Is this thing still on?
I will tell you when it's done.
Yeah.